Alright guys, so today we are going to hopefully getting this thing ready for tomorrow. The Tilson just died out on me. This is clearly not running right, so what I'm going to do is, all I'm going to do is take the flywheel off that one, put it on a good engine that's already built. It's got a 265 cam, flat top piston, and a billet rod. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this NIMBY on it. We got to put a valve cover in the flywheel and then a gas tank, which will take the parts from this one. So let's get started with removing that engine first, but we also have to remove the torque converter. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so now that she's on the stand, we're going to remove the torque converter and then the exhaust, throttle cable, and then we can unbolt the two bolts and the slider out. Alright, so I got what I need. Go ahead and just put that guy right there. Let's go ahead and get this exhaust off. We'll grab that leader. Just go slide out the Go Power Sports exhaust. Let's grab that one and the bolt. Okay. Now we'll grab our 10 mil. Take off the mounting bolts for the torque converter. That one's been in there for a little bit. Alright. Just go ahead and just slide that right there. Don't need that. And just take this guy off. Alright, so I'm going to put a jack stand right there just because, you know, these don't really like to stand on dirt bike stands. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and take my 13 and just loosen up the engine bolts. We got one. Alright, now let's do the other. Ready. So the last one's coming out. I did end up taking the fender off. It was just blocking on how much I could turn. Didn't really feel like being here for an hour, so. Right, yep, it's gonna fall. So I'll put her right there. Right, she should just be able to slide out. Put her up on the workbench. Yes, the workbench is the table. Right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and get the tools that I need, and we're pretty much gonna take everything off that I need. But first off, I'm going to make sure I can find some new bolts for that because the bolts that are in it suck. Alright, I found some potential bolts. They're a little long. Probably will have to cut them. But let's see if they'll go in any of the threads. They screw in, but it's rough. But also there's dirt in the threads. So we'll have to clean those out when we're ready. But these will work. Definitely going to have to be short. Just need a 5/16 ratchet and then a 10 mil, which I already have. So for starters, let's go ahead and pop off this cover. I think this will be the first glimpse at this flywheel since I put the MSD coil on, which was pretty long ago. And I also had to put a self-tapper because the threads were stripped, so let's see if we can get that out. I guess this is a 9. Let me find the 9. Alright, so got it out. probably be using that one later, so let's see if we can get this cover off. Hold up. Gotta take this guy off. That's the ground volt. I'm trying not to leak gas. As you can see, it's leaking gas, so there we go. Ooh. Let's disconnect that, and we can set that aside. Let me prop up this engine because now it wants to fall over. Alright, so scratch of what all I said. You guys can see right there. See how oily or gassy the gasket is and how much oil. So there's definitely an intake leak. So let's just go ahead, fix that. We'll throw it back on the bike and we'll just see if it runs. If it doesn't run correctly, then we will take it back off and continue with that engine. If not, this engine will be fine. The issue now, I either have to take that guy's intake gasket off because I do not think I have a spare one laying around. Plus, I just moved back into here, so I don't really have any knowledge of where all my stuff is. Let's go ahead and get the carb off. It's probably going to be one of the sizes I used. I guess. Let's see if it's this one. Aha. First try. And if you can't get enough leverage, you just get a tiny little ass wrench. And then you just break it loose. Comes in handy. There it is, look. You guys can see it was just dripping out fuel out of the gasket. So that's my issue. I'm actually kind of happy because this engine was expensive to build. Oh, that one was a little tricky. But now let's go ahead and see if we can just take it. I'll get back to you. Okay. Let's put this bolt aside. And let's look at this gasket. Oh, well, that might be why. This is an exhaust gasket, not a intake gasket. So, yeah, well, I guess we'll keep that around for exhaust. So now let's go ahead and either rob an intake. Probably take the Tillison's one because it's easier to take that one off than that one. Alrighty. Oop. Still get gas in that tank. Just try not to spill that. Alright. I'm going to try to not rip this gasket. It'd be like that on the bike. It looks pretty good. This was on wrong, so doesn't look like this one will leak. So let's go ahead, push the Tillison back, and get this thing back together. I'm gonna record this part just so I know where it is for next time when I try to rebuild this one again and get this one going again. Alright, so here. New gasket that we're using, or used gasket. Gasket rear blew out right there. Where it was dripping out of. So, but yeah, we'll keep this for exhaust. Hopefully it don't catch fire, but I don't think it will. And then let's get this on. Just making sure these are nice and snug. Oops. It's good. Now let's put this back. That goes in there because I use it for that. Now let's go ahead and throw that back on. And actually, before that, let me go ahead and check my feeling, or my gap between my ignition coil with the flywheel, just to make sure that's not another issue that I need to fix. It's 28, it's fine. 30, there we go. And I could use a little bit of adjustment down there, but it's pretty good. We just make sure like enough size don't fit. Or a lower size, my bad. Or no. Gasoline's getting to me, man. Okay, let's try 35. Let's see if it fits, then we'll probably reset it. Okay. You know what? Alright, yeah. Let's go ahead and readjust that. Where I store my torque wrench, I have my feeler gauge that's bent for the flywheel. So let's go ahead and use this. Now, just loosen them up a little bit. Take it, get to where the magnet is, which would be not that magnet, that magnet. So let's go ahead and set her in there between the coil. It's got a screwdriver. I can't really get it with me. My little fat ass hands. There we go. Nope. Alright, I'll get back to it. So once you get it, push it, and then after that, slide it back out. And then you can put your feeler gauges away. I definitely recommend bending it, a feeler, or the right feeler gauge for it. It's way better. It's easier too. Just make sure like a higher size don't fit in it, like a 32. And it really tells if I said it right. Yeah, it doesn't really fit that well. 35 shouldn't fit now. If I can find the damn 35. Alright. Yeah, it doesn't fit very well. Alright, so that means we're good. Now let's go ahead and throw this on. Alright, so this self-tapper that I put in there is a little too long. So we're going to go ahead and shave this down with the angle grinder. I'm just going to throw it in the vise. Grab my flat disc because I don't have a cutting wheel. This one's a little bald, so I won't take off too much. Unravel it. And lock it. Get it tight. Make sure it's off before you plug it in. This white cord's my extension. Alright, get the nose out of it. Get some safety glasses on. That's good. So now let's put the angle grinder. Let's go ahead and throw this thing on. Get stuck on the magnet. Just rotate the flywheel. Alright, now put the bolts. Alright, so now that that's on, let's go ahead and find the ignition coil. So I found it. Let's go ahead and throw. Let's get a new pack of electrical tape. I'm just gonna cover that up because don't need water destroying and all that good stuff. get a piece off. It's really cold in here, so this tape don't really like to work. Alright, let me get it. Alright, so just get yourself a decent piece like that. Put your electrical tape, not right there, I'll put it right there. And just wrap it around. Try to get the whole thing too, not just put it in one single spot like I was just doing. And bam. Now put the ground back where the gas tank bolt is. Grab the gas tank bolt. Now we can throw this thing back onto the bike, and then we can just pray that it'll be fine again, which I think it will. But we'll have to wait and see. Alright, so I'm not going to put new bolts in. I found 3 bolts that I can only put in because one got stripped from when I bought that plate. So we can go ahead and put these fellas back. These are actually for the, I'll show you in a second, the purple bike over there. So let's go ahead and slide this engine in, get her bolted down, get that back on, and the throttle cable. I'm not going to put the front fender on now. Roll it outside. We'll get her running. Get it running good, because I'm hoping this fixes it, and then we'll put the front fender on. And then she should be ready for tomorrow. We're getting 3 inches of snow tomorrow. Alright, so I'm just going to time-lapse me putting this whole thing back together. Alright, so this is a no-no, but it's also because that. So let's go ahead and I already have it out. Let me put some of my screwdrivers back. Go ahead and grab this guy. Just loosen it up. Hopefully that little guy's alright. See. Alright, so now we might be replacing a throttle cable. So let's go ahead and do that. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this one has its end, and yeah, so this one looks good. Let's go ahead and put this one on. Okay. We're going to use this same throttle body. So let's go ahead and get that done. Take this off. Pop that little guy out. Don't need that guy falling. Okay. Pop him. That guy out. Grab the screwdriver. Loosen this dude up a little bit more. It's also not routed correctly. Or it's not routed how I would like it to be routed, so. Now we just take this guy over here, grab the new throttle cable too. It's going to be kind of a long video, but you need to start posting more up on the YouTube than the TikTok. So just did a time lapse of the putting it together. I take this boot off. I put it on the other throttle assembly. Alright, so this throttle is still kind of good, so we'll leave that over there where I found this one. Let's just go ahead and slide this guy on. Oh, wrong way. Now it's going to be a little hard to get over the thicker part. Alright, I'll let you guys know. So that thing's not going to go on, but we should be able to get away. Looks like this is actually pretty on there, so just keep it like that. Stick that guy up in there. Set this bastard on. We're going to also lube it up too a little bit. So just WD-40, not too much. I put a shit ton, so just to keep everything from being good and not breaking throttle cables. So I have done that before. Don't plan on doing it again. Let's get some more right here. That was a bunch. Good thing that this thing should be smoother than, I can't say that word, but I think you guys just. Oh yeah, I also gotta put this back on so it's not tightening it too much. Now this is an extra step if you guys really want it to be really snappy. See, I already kind of have it, but I haven't done it in a while. Get some sandpaper and just do that. I'm gonna do it real quick. So that's pretty good. Let's go ahead, grab the throttle assembly. Put that right there. Actually, let's route it right this time. I'll put a little bit of oil into there. This shit should be taken away from me, but you know, might not even grip anymore, but we'll see. Put it right there. And let's go ahead and tighten this bad boy down. Now, throttle cable here. Gonna put this guy on. Put it through that. Put it on there. And tighten it down. I will zip tie everything back up once I know it's actually running good. It doesn't need to come back off. Alright, let me wipe down the bike. Got some WD-40. Works pretty good as shining up shit. So, see if this throttle cable is snappy or slacky. Perfect. That's what I like. Alright. Back to the time lapse. I gotta get the exhaust on. Alright, so the exhaust is on, throttle cable, the torque converter plate, fixed the throttle actually. So we're pretty much ready to take this thing down and see if it runs properly. Might need a little booster. It is like 20 degrees out. I have some starting fluid if it needs it. It's probably gonna need to be tuned. I'm gonna turn the idle a little down because that shit was maxed out and it was barely running, which obviously was because of the air leak. But before I go anywhere, I'm gonna grab a flathead. That's probably about it. So let's remove this jack stand. Let's see if I can get the chain on here. I might just wait until we get it down. Put that guy over there. And then just push it down. And then it's basically just gonna, like that. Bam. And then, boop. Take that out of the way. I do not have a kickstand, so let's just put the bike right there. Alright. Okay, well, it just fell. We'll put that there. Let's grab this, that. Put it over here. We're gonna need these needle nose. Maybe not today. Let's see if I need them. It's really just to get down in there and push it over the bolts I have for holding on the sprocket. On there as much as I can. Go ahead, put these things back. Put the hammer back up there. And now let's just chains on. Oh, she got some good tension going on. Nice. I don't know. Guess it's self-tightened. Alright, let's make sure I have my cranking thingy. Gotta go get that real quick. I know where it's at. I'm gonna get this thing out though. Alright guys. So let's go ahead. Grab the crank thing again. Of course it fell in the snow. I still left it out in the snow, so make sure everything's good. It's not gonna run away on me. I feel like no, we're good. Let's crank this bitch up. Ready? Let's see if she starts. Ah, wow, she didn't even first crank. That's a first for this damn engine, which means that intake's been leaking for a while. This thing never does that. Oh my god. Wow. Wow. Simple fix. I'm sure glad I had to take this thing apart. I don't even think I gotta adjust it. Don't worry about that, it's this thing. Alright, well, let her idle. I'll go put this shit away. And then we'll pull it back in the shop and put the belt on and juggernaut on. Let's adjust the air fuel mixture screw real quick. If I can get the damn. Let it idle a little bit more and then we'll button. There you guys have it. She runs mint now. Runs good. Alright, so I'm gonna remove the velocity sec, put the air filter on. And then put the juggernaut on and then belt. Velocity stack removed. We'll go ahead and throw this in the baggie. Got that hose clamp so you can make a shirt filter. Now let's take this filter off and put it on that. So let's get started. Oops. With this keyway. Alright, let's get that. Alright. So we got that juggernaut on. Ding ding. Now I gotta get the old belt. I gotta remember. I feel like it went. Yep. Just this way. I feel like most of you guys struggle with putting these belts on, but it's really not that hard. Just get it set. Roll. Oh. You should roll her a bit forward. What we really do is just get her set up on there. Like that. Pretty much fuck the bike backwards. So you hear that little clicky click. And now she is ready for a ride. So I'm gonna go run up the yard and run back down real quick. Alright, so we'll go ahead and record this part. Really all what you need. Header's a little loose. Let's tighten that up, I guess. Actually, we'll just take it for a spin. They do have foot pegs, but, you know. She's good. Alright, let's tighten up that exhaust. And I will say, that engine's got way more torque than that Tilson. But let's go ahead and tighten this thing up. Alright, she's all tightened. Go for one more quick ride. And then we'll end the video off. Might be a little bumpy ride for you guys, but the strap just broke, so. Oh, my hat just got taken off. Damn tree. Back up, my shoes are so bald. Oh, that don't work. Alright. Let's get this thing in. Tomorrow, there will definitely be some riding videos. This thing is actually pretty fun in the snow, so looking forward to riding this. But yes, I'm going to end it off here. Appreciate you guys watching. If you guys stuck to the whole end of the video, I'm pretty glad that I didn't have to take that engine apart. So, good to go. Definitely going to be some riding videos tomorrow.